copy of Gulliver's Travels sees Jonathan Swift shift the focus of his satirical novel from wittily critiquing power and the English government to skillfully slandering Enlightenment science. Swift continues to use humor to point out the ridiculous aspects of society and civilization, manipulating Gulliver into the perfect lens through which readers can realize these little insanities. In this section of the novel, our protagonist finds himself once again on a voyage to the West Indies when his ship is raided by pirates. The hopes of release and fair treatment are presented. Gulliver incites one pirate's fury by unthinkingly running his mouth, and he is ultimately punished by being placed alone in a boat with enough food to last only 4 days. With some luck, Gulliver washes onto the shores of yet another foreign land and discovers that above the beach there is a giant floating island. The people draw him up onto the island, where he notices certain peculiarities in their characteristics and mannerisms. They all have tilted heads, for example, and some cold flappers actually strike the mouths and ears of their colleagues as a means of communicating thought, speech, and listening. I believe Swift is using this as a metaphor for the Europeans' obsession with communicating only enlightened, intelligent ideas, even at the risk of sacrificing practical thought. In addition, Gulliver finds that the Laputans are fascinated by mathematics and music, but strictly reject geometry, even with all of its practicality. An example of the Laputans' stubborn denial of the laws of geometry is found in their ridiculous refusal to use right angles anywhere on the island. Further criticism of government can be found in the chapter that describes the option of using the island as a weapon in order to punish any town in the region below. It would be impossible to defend against such an attack, and furthermore, the onslaught would be a blatant abuse of the king's power. Additionally, though the distant king rules all the lands below his island, he has never actually descended foot into any of them, and so cannot possibly understand their needs and way of life. This could definitely be a jab at the English and French monarchs who are not of the people, who ruled their subjects from confined bourgeois communities without ever even coming in contact with the proletariat. Though the political commentaries have continued throughout the entire novel, Gulliver's experience in Laputa differs greatly from his time in Lilliput and Brobdingnag in one momentous respect. While he was the complete center of attention in both other civilizations due to the fascinating difference in physical size, Gulliver is instead ignored and neglected in Laputa due to his supposed intellectual inferiority in comparison to the scientifically minded natives. The Laputans find their power in technology, not size, which Swift also satirizes by mimicking his earlier passage about sailing jargon. Swift explains the island's magnetic properties in such complexity that, once again, the overall understanding is completely lost on the reader. Additionally, in contrast to how Gulliver was literally held captive and treated like an amusement show in Lilliput and Brobdingnag, the Laputans readily grant him permission to freely leave their community. Gulliver touches down in the Legato area, where he stays with landowner Munoli. This man informs Gulliver that the destroyed crops and the land around them are the result of failed experiments done by people who returned from Laputa, their heads filled with new scientific breakthroughs for how to better cultivate the land. Gulliver learns of the Academy of Legato, Swift's satirized version of the Royal Society of London, and enthusiastically pays a visit, only to be disappointed and disgusted by his findings. The researchers' ridiculous experiments, such as trying to extract sunlight from vegetables and reverse the process of human digestion by turning feces back into consumable food, suggest Swift's contempt for Enlightenment science, as he reverts to using childlike humor to really drive home his statement opposing contemporary British thought. Swift mocks the Royal Society because of their lack of constructive, feasible studies, and it is said that many of the experiments mentioned in Gulliver's Travels had actually been proposed to the Royal Society during the Enlightenment period. Finally, Gulliver decides it's time to return to England, which takes him to Gulliver, the city of music where the governor is able to summon up certain philosophers and historical characters with whom Gulliver converses, like Alexander the Great, Hannibal, and Julius Caesar. Upon return to Luggnagg and hoping to begin his journey home soon, Gulliver struggles with a momentary envy for the immortal Struldbugs, but reprimands himself for this when he learns that most of them suffer great sadness and depression due to their eternal circumstances. This is also a stark contrast to expectation, as one often considers elders to be wise, but the immortal Struldbugs are really negative, pessimistic, and bitter contributions to society. Overall, Part 3 of Gulliver's Travels differs from the previous two sections, as Gulliver no longer experiences feelings of power and inferiority due to his size, but rather on account of his intellect or lack thereof. Swift continues to employ satire successfully throughout this section by making a mockery out of a civilization that so highly values fruitless intellectual theories over efficiency and rationality. All the while, Gulliver continues to be the perfect vessel of Swift's satirical messages, as his simple humanity inspires his readers to relate, sympathize, and laugh along with his ominous perspective and reactions to his experience.